Good morning, everyone. We are going to be doing some art journaling today, and we're going to be doing something that I call, or that is known as, it's an actual thing called Zentangles. And it's the perfect thing when you don't know what to write, or you just need to get a moment to slow down or get your thoughts together and just have an experience where maybe you don't write down everything that you're thinking. So we're going to do that process today, and you may want to do this later tonight when you are somewhere at home that you can just relax and unwind. So we're going to use this book. This is what I'm going to use today. It's just an old Reader's Digest that I have been working on. I'll just try to put it so you can see it. And I would like today for you guys to use any book page that you have, one of the pages that is in your journaling kit. And I'm just going to give you a sample of what it can look like. So this is a Zentangle I did the other day, and they look really great on top of these book pages or sheets of music or poetry, and that's what I want you to do on your pages today. So here's one that I did a while ago, and then today, I'm going to do one right on this page. So what we're going to use for this today are any kind of a marker. I have all kinds of markers. Oops, these are not markers. But I have all kinds of markers. There's Sharpies, there are these little micron pens. I have these Staedtler pigment liners. Anything like that. And what I want you to do is pick one color, and we're going to work with that. So let's begin. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm doing my Zentangle, and you don't always have to do this, is I like to draw a little box in the area that I'm going to work in. I don't always do this, but for today I am going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to use a ruler, and you can use anything that you like, a book edge or a piece of cardstock that you like. I'm just going to make a little frame. And it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I think I'm going to make it go almost to the edge of my page here. Go there. It doesn't matter if it's perfect because I'm going to do something else with it later. There, that's all. I'll probably put a border around it later as I'm working on this particular altered book. But I do want to have a Zentangle in here. And we'll just bring this guy down. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. So this, I will probably leave this little side for some writing that I'm going to add in, but here is going to be my Zentangle. So the first thing that we want to do is just draw a line anywhere. It can be any kind of a line. Just like that. And then we're going to add some dots on our line. If you do put a little corner peak on there, we're going to make that one of the dots. So we'll make a dot here, we'll make a dot here, make a dot here, make a dot here, make a dot here. This will be a dot. And I think, well, sure, this can be a dot there too. And then we're just going to connect 3 lines from dot to dot. Just like that. And we'll just continue up the whole line. We'll just see, there's no particular way you have to do them. Now let's draw another line, and it can be anywhere that you like. I'm gonna make mine join right there. It doesn't have to join, I just like that idea. And I'm gonna make a dot on this one there, and here, and here. I'm gonna make my dots a little bit closer together. And maybe this side I'll make them a little bit further apart, or not. There. Now, one thing I'm going to do before we get too many lines on the page, because the idea is to fill up our whole square, is that in each one of the bubbles that you have created, we're going to put a little bit of shading on near each side of the dot. And that's going to really make it pop. So all I do is you just draw little lines stemming out from the edges. Now, if you have any pencil crayons in your kit, you could definitely shade that out with a pencil crayon. I'm just going to use my marker today. Just put a few extra lines in. Now, as you're going, in every bubble that you're doing, pick a couple of lines to darken up along the way after you get your little shadowed corners done, your dots, your lines. So pick one and just add a little bit more dimension, thickness to each edge of it. This is going to make it look more three-dimensional, just to have a little bit of variation in there. They don't have to be the same. Just give it a little bit of thickness on a couple of the lines, just like this, so that they're not all the same and they pop out a little bit. Now, once you have a lot of your lines drawn in, you can start connecting these little centers if you like. You don't have to. You can also do lines that crisscross like this behind each other too. So fill in now as many of your open spaces as you can, and remember to draw in your little shading on each end of your bubble, and then accentuate a couple of lines. And this is adding dimension to your Zentangle. Now, when you have your Zentangle mostly all filled in where it feels like you think there should be joins and lines, and you filled it in how you like, there are two ways that you can finish this. Now, you can just add in extra lines to fill in the gaps, just like that. So you're just adding in extra lines to make sure every single part is filled. And these fill-in lines, oops, I should connect it there, are not going to be shaded. They're not part of their other design. We're just going to fill in where we can. And that's how I'm going to fill mine in today. But one thing that you can do is that you could also take these fill-in areas and you could make them all black. That is another great option. So I'm just kind of making it look like these are background, maybe background leaves. They're not really connected to anything else. They're just filling in between other lines that I have. And carry on like that until you have your whole square filled in. So now that I've got all of my little background fill-ins done, one thing I'm doing is I'm just grabbing just a regular pencil crayon and a blending stomp, which you don't need these, but I have them because I do a lot of artwork and pencil drawings, and they're basically a little rolled up paper blender. So I am just lightly filling in my little background areas that we just created, just to give it a little bit extra dimension. You could do this with any color and it would look amazing. I actually would like to do another one and see what it looks like with a color. So I really hope you enjoyed all of our Zen tangling today and that you use this art journaling tool to help you relax when there are times that you just do not feel like or just feel like you cannot write the words. And this is one fantastic stress reliever to help make you get through those little times where, you know what, you just have no other tools. And that is exactly what this is, a tool. And how, when you're finished, can you not enjoy that feeling of satisfaction for creating a little piece of artwork like this? You do not have to be an artist to do this, but they turn out so successful every time. Happy journaling.